Good morning. One second, just having a look here. May have a trade opportunity if I get this break of a H1 candle here, and I'll be entering. So give me a second, people. Just need to focus on this. Let me just check my risk, and I'll explain the trade in a second. Okay. So back to it. So just get back on track. So I'm looking at EURUSD, getting ready for a buy. If I get this break of this H1, previous H1 candle, I'll confirm my entry. There is a big risk of a loss because we've got all of this imbalance. Price could push down to fill it more. I am very conscious of that, but I just need to trade the system. I know that's the only thing I could really do. Something I back tested. I know the results. All I could do is trade it with no fear. So I'll explain as well why I should have confidence in taking the trade. Just don't want to miss the entry. Got 4 minutes. Maybe in London session it will break this high. Let me just mark it out so I don't miss it. So that's the current high. I want the new H1 candle to break that high, then I take the entry. Or it could break the previous. Actually, ideally it stops here, new H1 breaks there, then I take the buy. So quickly zoom out on H1, looking at EURUSD. If you've been following the stream, following the channel, called it out a few times. We had a reversal here, trend up, got to top here, expected it to go past, but it pulled back down. Expected to be bought here. There was an attempt, but it didn't work, and it started pushing down. When it got underneath these lows, I expected maybe it's going to get into this imbalance here to fill that, and that could be potentially where the buy was. So in the in the early mornings, before anyone was probably able to trade, it dropped all the way down, tagged right into that spot, and then bounced back up. So I think in the morning I was looking at it here, and I was considering a sell for it to go down. This was yesterday, before you could get the buy, but it was just sticking around. I wasn't too sure about it, and it pushed up. So I kept my eye on gold basically instead, because gold had a better structure, and that was a buy. And yeah, gold has similar setup. So show you quickly what gold did. So that's gold here. That was yesterday. No, let's zoom out a little bit more. H1. So gold pulled back, tagged into that imbalance, did a reversal here, and that was a cleaner read. So it was here, it could have been a sell, could have been a buy. I waited, it broke structure, I was in a buy. So you could check out yesterday's stream and see that it went a lot further than I anticipated. So gold did that, and Euro did that today, yesterday as well. So it's bullish. So overall trend, or this week at least, last few days, it was bearish. It was selling down, tapped into this imbalance, and it just pushed up, broke all of this structure. So it should be bullish, right? That being the case, I should be looking for buyers. So what you would expect is it to pull back before it goes up again. There was a lot of news yesterday, and there is a lot of news today, and that's later in the day. Hopefully I could get this trade within the London session. So it could pull all the way back down here and be bought up from there, or it could do it here, remain bullish, bouncing off the previous high as support here, using that as support. I just need a confirmation on the lower time frame to continue what I see on the higher time frame, and I look for that buy, and that buy could continue to run it higher, or it may just stick around here and push down further with the news catalyst, and then New York buyers hit from here, something like that. Okay, that's the scenario, that's the risk. I'm happy to take it for a small trade, quick scalp if I could get it this morning, and that'll probably be it. I already took a trade on gold this morning, took a buy from gold. So it had a similar setup that I'm looking at here. So we had structure coming down, and as you can see just here, it broke the structure. Okay, so gold has already started being quite bullish. So hopefully euro is in line with that trend, and it's going to do so here. So right now it's giving me every indication that it's being sold, and that's what I want to see. So I want to see now it pushes up and breaks this high, and that will be my entry. Stop loss underneath here. I want to see if it drives further, but I need to see it hold and respect this low and then break this high. So that's what we're looking for, and I'll take my entry. So I'm just going to focus a little bit now, keep an eye on this. If it pushes further, it's still the same move. We're just going to wait for it to maybe create it down there, and that's it. Okay, so it could just be pulling back to fill this imbalance, and if it's the case, maybe there's no trade in this stream. But if it holds here and pushes up and break that structure, then I'll get that trade within this stream on euro. If not, have a look at gold and see what's going on there. So that's the plan, and hopefully we get the breaking structure soon. So let me just get rid of this. I don't need that distracting me. Just need to keep an eye on this previous H1 high, lower high. So it's given the impression to continue with the trend. It could continue all the way down there, but I'm not going to sell this. It's just too close to where it could potentially reverse from, so I'm not looking to sell it. It could break out here, that's fine. But if it breaks out, I'll definitely come back in, and then maybe it does that, but I won't be interested in that. It's just a bit too unpredictable. That'll be running stops here, then running stops there. I'm not getting involved in that kind of price action. If it's that kind of day, it probably can be that kind of day, because this morning session, in anticipation of what's going to happen later in the day, it's last trading day of the month as well. It could just go sideways and give us a lot of choppy price action. So we'll see. So far it's doing what I expect, giving that big selling signal to a lot of people who's continuing this trend. And if they are inclined, they will jump in somewhere here, try to run these lows. But if it stops here and starts pushing up, it's exactly what I want to see for a small reversal or pullback. Could be a trend continuation. We'll see. But if it just breaks out here, I'm not taking this trade. I'm gonna have a look at gold and see what gold's doing. Rest of it is just sit and wait. Have to be patient, people. Have to be patient. Let's see what it wants to do. For those in the chat, let me know what you're looking at. Are you trading gold this morning? DAX is looking bullish after a nice pullback. Run the lows. I mentioned I was here yesterday. Took a buy from there. I said it could continue. No, I took a buy from there actually. I said it could continue to run these equal highs. Or if it gets underneath here, it's getting underneath these lows. This was Monday's bank holiday lows. So it's got underneath there and it seems to be reversing here. So maybe it reverses here and starts pushing up there. That would be the buy argument from here. Or to sell it, to try and fill this gap here, this inefficiency. I don't think it's been filled. So this is considerable highs, but it's equal highs, and I don't trust equal highs. So that's why I will believe it's going to be bullish. It's just a case of when. I can't say I know. I was going to, but I feel that these equal highs will get taken at some point. Whether it's going to come from here to do it or it needs to go down a bit further, but I don't trust equal highs like that, especially when they're formed in a. I need to keep an eye on this euro trade, especially when they're formed in a low liquidity, low volume time, right? So I think that was formed during the early mornings. Let me just check quickly. Yeah, no one was awake at that time. Yeah, so it has structure here, selling, selling, selling. As you can see, consolidates here, and it's broke the structure. It's no longer lower highs, creating higher highs. So there's an argument for a buy, but you do have somewhat equal lows here. This isn't really the traditional reversal pattern I would like to see. So it may be too early to enter that. But eventually today I could see it pushing back up. I'm more inclined to buy the DAX than sell it. Did you jump in on gold already, Miss Dia? Would have been a great opportunity to. And if you have, are you still holding it? Because it's looking a bit heavy now. Yeah, it's looking a bit heavy. There is a demand down here. So very strong argument to see it come back to dig into that demand before it's bought. I know this is an unused demand. I was watching this yesterday. Doesn't need to. So there's an imbalance there. A strong argument to see it coming in there before it goes up. Are you buying or selling it as well? That's great. Good way to start the weekend. Happy for you. So I'm assuming you were buying it? Let me know. Was you buying it or selling it? Okay, so it looks like this isn't working out. And that being the case, could push down a little bit further. Maybe this gold trade, because it seems to be in alignment, maybe this gold trade is going to push down as well. I don't know if I want to jump in for a sell or not, but I'm going to wait. It's not really the setup I trade. I want to see structure, clear structure. I want to see the break of that structure. So this looks like it's potentially selling. It hit, I had my eye on this, by the way. It hit resistance on this here, this price point here, and it started selling. So I'm inclined to believe that this is a sell. Let's push down, pulled up here. So we'll wait and see if it pushes up and gets above. Let me see the previous H1. Yeah, so that's more or less where the previous H1 is. If it holds here, respects this low and gets above here, then I'll be inclined to buy gold. Okay, cool. So when did you get in? Did you get in around here then? Because it did a considerable large pullback and you're still in it. Or did you get in around here? I think you're in a better position. The sell's really the play right now until it breaks structure. So like I said, I can see a demand here. I can see it heading towards. And if euro is still heavy, yep, and they've been quite in sync recently. If euro is still heavy, pushing down, I can see gold continuing as well. Pushing down towards that demand, I can see it happening. Good. Very good way to start the weekend. Are you just trading the London session, or would you be continuing trading into the New York? I'll keep an eye on this. Don't think I'm getting this buy. If it creates equal lows, I'm definitely not entering it. Hasn't created equal lows yet, but if it holds here and pushes up to break that high, then I'll definitely buy it. It really should actually just sell, and if it doesn't do that, it means there's a little reversal or a run on liquidity attempt, and I will join it, but it should really just sell. There we go. Okay, cool. So I'm inclined to believe gold is selling still. There you go. Could jump in for a small win for gold here, but I'm not sure about that entry. Equal lows, pulled up, yeah, strong argument for a sell for gold. I might jump in for a quick sell on gold. small position. Not my style of trading, but it feels quite clear that it's going to push a bit further here, at least to get into this demand. Hammer stop loss just above 3304. Let's see if we get this drive. We'll risk a little bit less, possibly. Let's see. Should drive it in here, and once it gets in there, it'll be getting out. Let me just find this previous H1. Yeah, it's more or less there. I would assume it gets down here into this demand here, and maybe that's where it gets bought up from. So as soon as it gets to 32.89, I'll be out. Quick win. I just type that in, 32.89. Okay, so yeah, Euro's broken that zone. That little potential reversal, it's not happening. So it's driving, it's got a long way to go, potentially all the way down there. There's no real support for it. Should get down there, but maybe there's something on to the left here it will find support from, but that would be my target if I was in there for a sell. Should have sold it, but I don't trust the risk. My stop loss where it would have needed to be wasn't ideal. Hopefully gold starts moving now and does the same thing, and I'm not in the slower horse. Let's see. I like gold. It's easier to manage your risk, simple to type in the numbers, everything, and structurally it's been very sound recently. So becoming a big fan of gold. EURUSD used to be my one and only, but now it's been a bit fickle, so I've started diversifying, trying out different things this last few weeks while I've been streaming. Now I'm looking at different things. I'm finding gold structure wise, it's even better than EURUSD, so may throw that in for the future moving forwards. Okay, nice little win. I'll be happy with that. Hopefully it does it with volume and really drives it in. Like what I read initially on H1 is for it just to tap in there and react. So I expected to get back here and then be sold again. Because as you can see, there's still some unfinished business down here. So it's arguable that it's just overreacted, and now it's going to be sold and it's going to try to get there. So if you are holding this gold trade, maybe you're holding it a little bit further. My target, if I wasn't scalping, would be to get here. Try to get underneath these lows and see if it wants to fill some of this gap and chill out around here, you know. But that's I don't know, maybe 3-4 hour mission. So in that time price could come against you. I definitely will not be streaming for that long, and I really hold trades longer than 30 minutes. So not for me. Something to consider though if you've got a small runner. But yeah, this is a imbalance here. I would expect some kind of reaction. That's why I got out, and look, we're getting that reaction. Going to push it back to where my entry would have been, and it could lead to a breaking structure. That's where I would expect buyers to really step in, and maybe in this London session then go and break this previous high here. And if it does break that previous high here, then I'll be buying this. So after it's tapped in here, created a new low, giving the impression it's selling more, pausing, that should be a break and retest for most people. If it does not do that, it turns around and breaks this H1 high, I'm buying it. That's the plan. And that might be the last trade for the stream. Keep it nice and short today. Got a lot of things, like basically kids are getting prepped for summer school and all these things in the next few days, so my schedule will be changing. So I won't be able to stream New York session, unfortunately, because they're going to be doing summer school for like half days and stuff like that. So my schedule will be changing, and I'm going to see where I could fit in streaming in between and so on. I doubt I'll be able to stream every day. We'll see. I'll probably still stream. I've invested the time to learn how to stream, so I probably still will be streaming. So just a case of when. So to be able to see me stream and all that, you know, hit the subscribe button. You get alerts when I'm about to stream, and I'll give you posts and updates when with my progress in general and when I'm about to go live as well. Okay. But yeah, let's keep an eye. I'm gonna keep an eye on gold. I'll come back to that. Let's see what the others are saying. So euros pushing, DAX holding. So what I've noticed recently, when DAX had been selling off, euro was bought. So yesterday, you if you have a look at the charts, you would have seen EURUSD was quite bullish. Okay, so that was yesterday's price action, and in the opposite, DAX was very bearish. So if euro is to continue being bearish this morning, yeah, maybe that means DAX is going to be bought, and then this target that I mentioned maybe will be in play for today, but it's not really moving, so I'm going to keep an eye on it. Probably just created a trend now. It's probably just establishing a trend. Yeah, so had a trend down. Here's a little reversal. That's the breakout, fake breakout. Pulls in, consolidates, pulls back, does not break this low, and then it starts creating higher highs, but it's not clean. So I'm going to be very cautious with entering a trade on DAX. Not yet. Not giving me enough to believe in it. Okay, so the other indices are not doing much at all. Maybe they're going to stick around for the news catalyst. So it may just be gold and EURUSD today. So let's have this over here and keep an eye on the two. So gold is just sticking around in this demand, reacting to it. It looks like it really wants to be bullish. It's not selling off. One sec. It's not selling as aggressively. It's not selling as aggressively as euro is currently, as you can see. So maybe euro is pushing down, looking for some kind of support or demand before it can start pulling back up. And maybe gold just wants to stick around there to be bought up when euro starts pulling up. I don't know. Speculating. So far, happy with the one trade this morning. Well, second trade this morning. Gonna wait, see if there's a third, and make a decision if that's my streaming session ended. Let's see what happens with this setup now. Yeah, I agree with you. The whipping post, that would be my initial thoughts, that it's going to chill out a little bit, maybe wait for the catalyst later. But as you can see, euro now is moving a bit aggressively. I'm assuming it's just going to try to fill some of this imbalance. There was a lot of demand zones that it just broke away from and didn't fill back in. Look at all of this one-way price action. So I'm assuming it's going to essentially fill some of these orders, and from then it could slow down and start pushing back up. There is a, is that unused demand? No, that's not unused demand. That would be support. There is support down here. Maybe it comes down there, reverses and goes up. We'll see. It's pushing really hard. And I would assume it's going to continue because there's nothing that's going to make it react. There's nothing I can see that's going to make it react aggressively. Not aggressively enough to come back and take this H1 candle so swiftly. So I can see it pulling back and maybe in the next hour continue pushing down. Or it could just drive all the way down here. So I'm right now this morning very bearish on Euro USD. I would not be buying that. There's nothing to support the buy up here. Yeah, maybe, but down here, nah. Nice. Nice gold trade. So you caught it at 33.09. That's nice. So you were able to hold it when it pulled all the way back there. Pulled all the way back here, no? Nice. So you caught it on this breakout here, I'm assuming. Really nice exit. I think that's a nice exit. Here I expect it to react aggressively as it's doing, and it may reverse there. We'll see. So far it's doing a considerable reaction, and it makes sense because it's tapped into this demand that sent it out yesterday. Cool. Let's see what happens with gold now. Keep an eye on this. If it comes all the way back after reacting from a demand and break structure, I'll be inclined to buy it. So obviously, if you're trading with the trend, there's the pole, there's the flag, there's a pole. You would expect it to come, retest, and send it again, right? So I would assume we're gonna get some selling pressure coming soon. If it does come and does not take this low, and it essentially does this, then pushes up, and then breaks this side, then breaks this side, I'll be looking for a buy. Probably pull in before it pushes up again. But as soon as it takes the previous H1 high, I'll be looking for a buy. But I got the move from here. I'm not going to jump in again for a sell. Not at this stage. After it's come from that demand zone. I would need to see it break this demand zone before I'll be like, okay, cool. There's no obstacles left now. I would need to see it break this low. And if it's still holding its structure for a sell, maybe then continue taking it down, aiming for this low where it reversed that. But for now, gonna wait and see how it reacts after hitting demand, this demand here. This could just be a reaction, unfulfilled orders being filled here, and then it's gonna drive it down and get underneath here. It needs to get underneath here. And if it gets underneath there, that's when I'll believe, okay, it's going to push down further. But yeah. But for me, setting up for a potential buy here. If it pushes up, holds and goes, yeah, I'm buying it. And that'll be the last trade. Okay, so let's see. Maybe Euro USD is finding support somewhere here now. Oh no, no support yet. I see it's still pushing further down. Maybe it's gonna do some back and forth, but I can see it pushing further down. Yeah, nothing on EURUSD for now. Never even considered platinum. I like the idea of trading something that's stable, you know, that's not so heavily reliant on fundamentals. You know, that'd be so much easier. But that's just not the case. The overreactions and stuff like that. I guess there's not it's not really fun without some of those plays. Get news reaction like yesterday, get, you know, let's see how many points it was on Euro. I was down here considering selling this. Almost got in, but I didn't. Took the trade on gold instead. But that was the first breaking structure here. That's where I should have bought it from. That would have been really, really nice move. But sometimes, as you can see, like this is something I've noticed. 127 pips yesterday. This is something I noticed, right? The market tends to price in the fact that there are going to be major news catalysts. Okay, it prices it in often, and this is my argument for it. So if you've been following the stream, I saw the trend going up, and I said I could see price getting back down here for a reaction. So it was here at one point. We're looking to buy this and got a little move there, I think, on stream, can't remember. But then what happened the next day is my argument, right? So from here, where it's consolidated slowly, it just decided, based on no news at all, to drop from here 80 pips all the way down to the entry point, right? That I had marked that. I think I marked it out. Can't remember. I'm not gonna make claims that I can't prove, but that would have been based on this H1 where it broke structure, price point there. That's where I had in mind price getting to, and maybe getting under there, right? But it dropped 80 points all the way there, bounced up. No one was catching that sell unless you were up there anticipating it, right? No one's jumping in there to catch that sell. Then it started buying up and it was holding there. So it just held there. The news came around about here 4 or 5 hours later. Then it shot up. I think the intention was there already. It knew where it needed to be bought from. It dumped down there, got there. I just feel like a lot of what we see is being priced in. And it's unfortunate. It means that it's not really selling, really. It's just movement of price to wherever they want it to be. Takes the fun out of the speculation, I guess. That's how I feel. I don't know. I feel like a rant coming on. Gonna chill. Still waiting for gold to show me something. But yeah, quiet morning. Expected after yesterday now. Maybe that's all the fun we're getting for the first 30 minutes. Maybe a continuation of what's, you know, the price action we're seeing, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm looking at DAX. Maybe there's a move now. It's EURUSD still pushing up. Got a little reversal on DAX here. Got a price in mind and just broke a H1 structure. So I'm going to take a little buy on DAX, and that's going to be the last trade. Let's see where this wants to push to. And I'm going to just trail the H1 lows. Not asking for much here, DAX. Just hold your structure. Let's see. Let's get under here. 860. Okay. So I'm going to hold this DAX trade. Hopefully it goes all the way back to the top here. That's what I would like to see. It's on a bullish one, as you can see. New highs may be attempted today. Big dip. Come into here. It has support here. Put in a reversal and it's starting to come up. Maybe it just came down for this unfinished business on Monday and it's reversed now and it's pushing back up and it's going to continue the agenda. If anything could do it today, anyone could do it today, it's DAX. So I'm going to try to hold it for a swing all the way back to the top. So 24,393. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll probably trail the H1 lows. But I think that'll be the last trade for today. 24. 350. Okay. Make sure I got this right. 24939. Okay. That'd be a nice way to end the month. Nothing else really going on, so I'm going to hold it, see what DAX wants to do. If it wants to remain strong, reverse what's happened yesterday. Let me see if there's any cause for concern, any price action I need to be aware of, any unused supply zones. Okay. So you could get a reaction for there, but this has been used, that's visited, all of this has been visited. This one was just visited now, came down and pushed above it, so it should get above here, slide through here, and then we'll see what happens around here. If it remains strong. And let's see, we've got, where do we have resistance? Go to H1. That's my first obstacle. Okay, so this low here, as you can see, price reacted there multiple times. So that'll be my first obstacle. So if I get it around here, take partials, move to break even, lead the runner, see if we could get this tops. That's what I'm going to try do with this DAX move. Hopefully just go smoothly this morning and maybe get there before the news. That would be great. I'll be happy with that. But let's see. Gonna adjust my stop loss as it moves, but it's too early now. Still got 27 minutes of this H1 candle. Hopefully pushes next one, 10 o'clock pushes and gets there. That would be great. Okay, so reduce my risk now. I'm happy to just hold it now. It should, as it's just started now, continue respecting his H1 lows. This is a major H1 low. Hopefully he respects it and continues pushing. And that's it. Don't need you to be messing around with me today, DAX. I see any reason to come back. I see it coming back. Doesn't need to. Does it need to? No, doesn't need to. This acted as support. Happy with the entry. Somewhat late, but I'm happy with it. Okay, so this price action here was acting as resistance. It broke above it. Pulled down. London session got bought within it, so it should hold here. Doesn't need to visit again. It could come here somewhere and push up again. That's what I would hope. It doesn't come anywhere near there. But yeah, it's only, again, small position. It's nothing crazy and I could afford the loss. So yeah, I'm going to hold it. Happy with this setup as it is. Clear breaking structure, clear reversals, pattern, left shoulder, right shoulder. Let's see how far it wants to go. See what gold's doing now. Okay. So now Euro is looking like it wants to turn around, which is not good for my DAX trade. But if it is to turn around, it'll be the next H1 candle to break that high. So we'll see. I still got a lot of time to hold this. And maybe this just reverses all the way down here, which will work out really great for my DAX move. If it is going in the opposite direction of Euro, as it's been. Oh, sorry, completely forgot. I was actually thinking that. I was like, some people will be adding here, and I was just thinking of a trader Tom. He would be adding so much, and I said to myself, you could add here, increase the position, and then just scalp it. I thought, okay, cool. You could do that, but I don't like the back and forth. I don't like how it makes me feel as soon as you add in, it starts pulling against you. He will just add in here, any pullback, and take sizes off, and any pullback here. Probably adjust his stop loss to break even soon, you know. Definitely. It's something I need to play around with more. With instruments like DAX and so on, because when it does move, they drive, right? So something for the future to have a look at. But yeah, he'll be adding another position here, moving it to break even. First one gets stopped out or whatever, you know, it just continues. Let me see if this is his setup. He's on a 15-minute chart. And he's looking at the third M15 candle. So from the London session start, so that's first, second, third. And as it breaks above, yeah, this might be similar to his setup. But I think Yeah, anyway, I haven't watched enough of his streams to know exactly how he manages this, so let me not misquote him. But yeah, I'm just reading it very simple. Break a structure and it's going. So I'm gonna hold it. Should take partials. Try the M15 lows maybe, but I'm happy with where my stop loss is so far, and just go wait and see if it goes any further. Just takes a little piece off. Let's see if it makes any sense to do that now. Leave a runner. Could do so. Okay, so maybe I'm gonna take some of this. Again, there's nothing there. Like I said, there's nothing here. This isn't nothing to be worried about. It's definitely nothing to be worried about. The only resistance is up here. There's no imbalances that could cause a reaction for price to take me out. So I should take it to this point, then scale out, and that's the move. So that's what I'm going to do. If it decides to come back, that's fine. This is something I did take away from Trader Tom. Do not don't want to use a certain word, but do not close your positions too early. Do not make your big win smaller because you close it because you are scared of losing the profits. This is something I've heard him say a few times. So my read is for it to get up there. My read is for it to get up there. So it doesn't make sense out of fear of losing, because that's what that will be, losing the profits. That would be fear of losing the profits, that I close it all the way down here and not up here where I expect it to go based on how I've read it. So should be closing it up there. Maybe there's resistance here, but that's not a major resistance. Maybe there's resistance there. So get into this supply zone with that resistance. That could push it back down and keep it here, maybe take me out. So maybe I'll take a piece there and then I'll leave the rest. So that'll be my first stop. Yeah, that's my first stop. That's fine. I can live with that. That's justified, not based on fear. Cool. We're going to do that. So 24091, I will take some partials. And then I'll leave the rest. I would love to be able to move to break even and leave the rest, but my entry is so high up, I could definitely see it coming back to there. So I'm just going to keep it at this low, reduce size. It's a free trade now. Then see if it gets there or not. Yeah. Yeah, because you essentially, most people are, if you learn how to manage your risk or manage your not overtrade and so on, if you learn how to control your impulsive behaviors, at best you may be a break-even trader. You're going to lose one, you're going to win one on average if you're consistent throughout the year, right? So as long as your wins outweigh your losses, and the best way to do that is to add into your wins, right? But it's the question of when to add, where do you place it and stuff, and that comes with experience, something I need to play around with. So obviously, as it's driving out here, I should be adding, right? As it pulls back, actually, this is what I'm looking at. So I'll tell you what I'm looking at. If it pulls back here, creates some selling pressure, holds, then pushes up again, that's where I'll add and leave the stop loss on the previous low. And that's how I'm planning to work on adding to my positions. I don't like just adding here at the top here and seeing it drive back down, reducing my potential wins. So I do need to see when it's a great time to add. It's so close to that price point So you could add here for it to drive there, and that's an additional 20 points on whatever you've added. You could do it that way, but I need to play around, see what makes sense for me in terms of when to add into a position. But yeah, I'm getting ready to close this, not close some partials. It looks like it's driving. I like that. I appreciate that. So 1 more minute. I'm going to take it now before the next 5 minute candle, because that next 5 minute candle could push it back to my entry. So I've taken some partials now and just going to leave the runner to see if it wants to get to the tops. So reduce loss. And when we get another H1 candle printed, I'm just going to throw the stop loss based on the H1 lows. Reduce this. It should break even would be nice, but that's too early. You can see it coming back all the way down here. Shouldn't come here though. No reason to come here. So reduce my loss. It's a free trade now. And let's see what it wants to do. Okay. Should see resistance here, should see resistance here. Hopefully holds and just continues. And yeah, that'll be a good way to end the month. So last trade for this session, definitely. And we'll see when I'm back again streaming. Need to have a word with the boys and figure out what makes sense with their schedule. Okay. Just gonna have a quick overview of the rest of the market. Where is that last H1? Okay, so that's there. So don't trust Euro right now. It's looking heavy. This wasn't a real react. This wasn't a reversal. This was just a dip into demand and reacted. So it's arguable it's going to come back down because this was a news reaction, overreacted, and it's coming back to continue what it's supposed to do. Now, the fact is tagged into this right shoulder that started it. It's arguable reversal happens here and it continues. So that could happen. If price holds, break structure here, gets above here, then I would anticipate it takes this higher, continuing this uptrend. If it pulls down here and doesn't get bought up, it starts pushing further down, I'll anticipate it gets down here to try continue its trend down. Is it still trending down? It's ranging. I would call that a range. There's the top, there's the bottom. It's at the top here. Take a range, get down here to the bottom of the range. So maybe it gets down to the bottom of the range. And in regards to gold, similar. Yeah. Creating lower highs. There's a high there, lower high, lower high. So maybe it's just going to go back and forth, get nice and tight, and maybe eventually make a breakout. So essentially ranging, but more of a trend formation. DAX is clear as day. It's trending up aggressively. So that's why I'm going to hold this. See if we could get these highs. And it looks like FTSE's moving in accordance. Now it's cleared up this mess. Put a reversal. No reason not to go for these highs. NASDAQ too early to say, but it's bullish. I've been saying it for a while. It is bullish. Very bullish, as you can see. And I would like to see it remain that way. So US30, I'm not sure. Not even gonna attempt to read that, but it looks like it's set up the same as NASDAQ, but I can't call it. I can't call it. Not a fan of US30. Can't remember why. Just yeah, it did a move the other day. Similar move to NASDAQ, but NASDAQ respected its low, and US30 just smashed it, then went up. I just don't like that behavior. So yeah, I think that's it. Very happy with the 2 trades, 2 wins on stream. I'm gonna hold this trade and see how it plays out. Do got 1 or 2 things I need to get done this morning, so I'm gonna try to keep this short and sweet. Hopefully you guys have appreciated this. It's been very interesting with the streams. I'm gonna see if I continue this or not. I do like streaming. It's just having the right time to do it, being ready to do it, and so on. So might go back to short video formats. I know a lot of you guys prefer it, so I might do that. But I may just do both of them. See how I feel. Figure it out soon. It depends on my situation at home with the boys. Summer's going to be difficult for me streaming, and I know that. So maybe it's something I'll do in Q1 and Q2 and Q4. Maybe. We'll see. I'll figure it out. But I will be around, people. If you want to keep updated with my progress, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions, let me know. Comment section and all that, and I'll get back to you. And if you've appreciated the series and what I'm trying to do here, you know, try to be as transparent as possible, showing you guys the trades, live trades, recorded trades, all of it, and sharing my progress. If you appreciate the fact I am not using clickbait information and all that, support the channel, hit the like button, let me know, and I'll continue doing so. Okay, this is Patrick signing out. Until next time, peace.